You got some stuff?
Me? We're just going to get into it, are we?
Well, we don't have to. I was actually just checking to see if you actually got... if you found the stuff that you wanted.
I got a few things. I'll keep digging in as we go here. That's part of the fun of just trying to do things on the fly here, right?
Yeah. Put another one in the bank.
Just...
That's about what it is.
Listen, we're just trying to get the information out there to the people.
Right. Even if it's useless sometimes.
Even if it's useless sometimes information, folks, we're here to entertain. We're not trying to make any money. What are you going to do?
And this is our perspective on things, so fuck it.
That's basically where it comes up. We've had some good interactions about this stuff, so it's okay. And we enjoy doing them. We'll just get right into it here. Welcome, everybody, to the Shower After Work podcast. John is with me, as always, across the table. We're coming at you this side from the East Side Job Trailer once again. My friend, you had a good week?
I did, man. I did. I can't complain. I can complain, but I can't complain, right? As the old saying goes, I would complain, but nobody actually gives a shit.
And really, what do we have to complain about? We got jobs and reasonable health, and the weather is starting to turn. We're getting into a nice time of year here, so it's pretty good. We'd like to thank everybody for listening once again. John and I are going to do something. This is version 3, I believe, because people seem to enjoy it. Our perspective and thoughts on recent news headlines.
Yeah, tradesmen take on the news.
As we would sometimes at work, talking about the shit that's going on in the news and the newspaper and the true/bullshit internet. We never know what's really going on, so we're gonna bebop around and talk about a few things today. So thanks for joining us. I got one to get into it, unless you got something good to start out with, buddy.
Well, I do want to actually start out with something.
Okay.
I want to remind everybody when it comes to the news and stuff like that. 1, this is our perspective. 2, some of it is satire.
A lot. A lot of it is
We're here to make you laugh or to make you go, what the fuck? But in that notion, I do want to take a serious minute to start this off and actually remind everybody that we are coming up into motorcycle riding season.
Yes.
I've got reports of 3 deaths already.
As of the time of this recording, it is the 6th of April, and that's real early.
Right. One of them, he kind of deserved, in my opinion. He was doing about Mach 100 and hit a car. He kind of deserved it. If you drive a car or ride a bike like a fucking moron, you deserve what's coming to you. But in that mindset, please be vigilant. Take an extra minute. If you're teaching somebody to drive, make sure you point out to pay close attention and look for motorcycles this time of year up in our area.
I think that's an important public service announcement. I agree entirely. That's a good thing to say, buddy.
It's really easy to look past us. Jason and I are going to be getting on our bikes again here soon. It's really easy to look right through a motorcyclist. We're small. There is a reason why I have loud pipes. So if you don't like loud pipes, go fuck off. I don't care. You will hear me before you see me.
Yes, you're going to get the yearly announcement maybe a couple times a year. John's right. I know the loud pipes can be annoying for people sometimes, but that's the reason we have the saying that loud pipes save lives. We want you to hear us coming. We can get stuck in so many blind spots that a car can't, so I appreciate bringing that, buddy. It's a real good point. And if I can, real fast at the start here, I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs. Nephew Alex, I just heard through the grapevine that you've been listening and enjoying it, and had mentioned it to one of the other people in the family, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And our buddy and contributor and sponsor and episode idea promoter, Travis, that worked with my shop for so many years. Travis has moved on to bigger and better things. I just say on and wish him the best. I hope he keeps listening. And also, one of these days, if he's interested, he's also the one that's going to provide us some mead eventually.
Oh, I hope so.
But now that he's moved on to some other things, he's making some choices. I'd like to have him on. We'll crack the mead together, and maybe Travis would be interested in coming on for a guest spot one of these days. I think he'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Travis. I wish you the best in your future endeavors, sir. We're going to miss you around the shop. I'll tell you that. So that being said, thanks everybody for joining us today. Let's get into the news here, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. right off the start here, I'm just going to get into something that I'm a bit passionate about. As John said, this is just our perspective. And remember, we're not bagging on people. It's satire. We're having fun. We're just giving you our perspective on shit. From the AP, the Associated Press, which as of right now, I'm having trouble finding any other news outlet that I can believe at all.
It's hard,
I'm assuming
right?
everything's a lie. When I check between two of the popular quote-unquote ones, you know which ones I'm talking about. They always say the exact same thing. I don't know what's going on. But from AP, all right, so the apnews.com, the skyrocketing cost, this is the headline, folks, on their website, the skyrocketing costs of the weight loss drug has state Medicare programs looking for a solution. I'm obviously talking about Ozempic. Okay.
Oh, I've got opinions about this.
Okay. I got a real... States are increasingly struggling to cover the rising costs of the pardon me. John and I have recorded a few episodes and I had a few drinks, folks. That's part of the show here. The rising costs of the popular GLP-1 drugs like Wegovy or Ozempic or Zepbound. Okay. Get the fuck out of here is my starting position on this. States increasingly struggle to cover the... No. Why are you covering the cost of a drug that people who legitimately need it, who have problems with diabetes? Okay.
That's the part I'm fucking pissed off about.
Okay. But the other people who are using it as a weight loss drug, which if, as we know, the insurance and drug companies are trying to make fucking loads of money, which they are, which is why the cost is skyrocketing, because the manufacturing of the goddamn thing didn't go up. But now that everybody wants it to lose weight, they drive the price. That shouldn't be covered by Medicare.
No.
And if it's covered by Medicare, some people's insurance is going to be covered. I don't want to pay for that. I'm not paying for you to lose weight. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
They took away our ability, in a lot of cases, not all, to get part of our gym membership covered through our insurance.
Right.
But you can get Ozempic and the charge. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
I'm frustrated, buddy.
Dude, okay.
I'm so mad I'm putting on my sunglasses because I'm mad about what's going on here.
The whole Ozempic deal. Look, my wife now is taking it for diabetes.
Which is okay.
Okay. She needs it.
Right.
That's what that fucking drug was designed for. It was the total intent of that drug is for fucking diabetic management. Okay. You son of a bitches that decided that, oh, it works really good for weight loss. Yeah, because it curves your fucking cravings. It doesn't make you hungry. You're starving yourself to lose weight. 1 is an unhealthy way to lose fucking weight. 2, it's fucking lazy. 3, you're a piece of shit. Okay?
Now, if I may, real quick, okay? You have taken some heat in the past for calling a specific group a piece of shit, okay? I don't think that people that are taking it for reasons other than the diabetic health benefits are pieces of shit. I don't think you should get it fucking covered through Medicare or your insurance. You should pay for that shit.
No, here's why I call them pieces of shit for doing it that way. 1, they're taking the lazy way out. 2, it's unhealthy. 3, you're making it harder for people that actually need it to get it because it's also creating a shortage in the drug.
Those two things.
Off.
Those two things I agree with.
Yeah.
It is partially a lazy way to do it, right? Now, for people who have very little success, or let's say they have a physical health problem where they can't work out to lose weight, or they don't. Okay.
Yeah, a thyroid problem, a medical condition that makes it hard for them to manage that. Yes, 100%.
Even scheduling and busy lives, I can look past a little bit, but you got to pay for it. It doesn't get covered.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
If you have a medical condition that causes you to do it. No, that I don't have a problem with. It's these people that don't really need it, right? That have made it popular to take, AKA all these fucking influencers and fucking movie stars that are already fucking skinny as a rail that have body problems already. That's not your issue.
Yeah.
Pull
your thumb on your ass. I'm tired of all of it. Yeah. So that's where I had to start. So
just to give you some idea,
just to give you some idea here, I'm talking about one particular state alone. All right, Pennsylvania's Medicare coverage, Medicaid coverage of the drug is expected to cost. Let me take a breath here. $1.3 billion in 2025, from a fraction of that only 2 years. I'm sorry.
What?
There are so many people that want to take this as a weight loss. Now, this also includes the people who are taking it properly medically, right?
Right.
$1.3 billion. That's Pennsylvania alone. That's not a big state.
What?
Scale that up, buddy.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Like you said, causing shortages, this, that, and the other thing. No. If you want to buy that, okay. But also, my core problem with it is that means that there's so many medical professionals out there, and I'm not even calling them doctors anymore because a lot of them are just pill pushers now. I'm getting frustrated with it, right?
Right.
That's your solution?
Right.
The last time I had a physical and I was a bit overweight, my doctor said, get more sleep, drink less alcohol, exercise more.
Right.
Not, hey, do you want a shot in your ass once a week or whatever it is? I don't know. Because I haven't looked into it because I'm not taking goddamn Ozempic. No. Again, I'm not judging nobody who does. I'm judging the fact that it shouldn't be covered by Medicaid if it's not medically necessary, and weight loss isn't medically necessary.
No.
I'm sorry. If you got to pay for your shots, good. If it works for you, excellent. If you want to take that shortcut, or lack of a better word, right? I'm not bagging on you, but you should have to pay. It shouldn't be covered under your health insurance.
Yeah.
These are the sort of things that are driving all our health insurance for every other thing up, and there's 20 other versions. I'm sorry to start out on a button issue.
Oh my God.
It makes me fucking crazy.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, and that's the deal. Like, if you're going to need it, you need it, right? I don't have a problem with you needing it. I really don't. But if you're just doing it because it's an easy weight loss drug, so is heroin. So is cocaine.
So is cocaine. Also, I will say, though, from my personal perspective, apparently a not advertised side effect is that it is helping a lot of people inadvertently who were taking it for weight loss. Apparently, it's a really good anti-smoking drug.
I'm sure it is.
Apparently, the people who are also losing their appetites, which is the progression of the whole thing, those people are also losing their desire to smoke cigarettes, and apparently it works really well. I'll pay for it. If they say 50% of the people who take Ozempic stop smoking, I don't care about losing the weight. But if it works for that, I'm like, you don't have to cover it in my insurance, but I'll fucking pay. Like, great.
Well, and to take it down another road, I've heard some horrible things about people's long-term use of this stuff, and it's causing both bone mass loss and a litany of other problems.
Yeah, the weight isn't exactly fat percentage, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's peeling off. People need to realize when you put a drug into your body, it's changing your body's drug chemistry.
Right.
No matter what drug it is.
Yeah, losing mass isn't... We were just talking to my nephew's girlfriend the other day. We were out at a little social event or whatever, and she was talking. She's the only person we know who still has a scale in their house. And I was trying to explain to her, even as a young woman, I'm like, don't base your happiness on the scale number.
Right.
Because that's a variety of factors, right? You mentioned when you showed up today, I look to be a little thinner. Look, I'm getting older. I want to get myself in reasonable shape before I get too old, before it's too late to get after it, right? So I've been getting after it a bit. Thank God my wife, she got me in a good spot. I'm feeling good. But my weight has not changed in 8 weeks.
Right.
But fat percentage down, muscle percentage up. Right?
Yep.
Don't base your happiness on a number.
Yeah. Too many people do it uneducated.
Right. And that's what it is. It's a quick fix. And anyways, yeah, I hated to start on such a divisive one, but man, it drives me crazy. And it drives me crazy that that's pushing the prices up for people who need it for medical reasons.
Yep.
So... yet another example of the insurance companies making a buck at the expense of people.
Right. Exactly.
You got anything funner, man? Let's move on.
Well, I'm going to open with what I was going to open with.
All right, here we go.
And it's not as fun. I mean, we could make it fun. So have you heard about this hands-off movement?
No. What's the hands-off movement?
So yesterday, April 5th, they had the largest organized protests in the country against our president and Musk.
I saw some of the stuff on TV. Yeah.
Right. They want hands off of all of our shit. So I actually went to their website. Interestingly enough, they're pretty well organized.
Well, when they pay people to show up for protests, people are going to show up.
And here's what I like about this. Here's what I like about I don't necessarily agree, and I'm going to get into that in a real quick minute. I'm going to give you my perspective, my opinion. It says right at the bottom of their website, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you look at it, it says a core principle behind all hands-off events is a commitment to nonviolent action. We expect all participants to seek to de-escalate any potential confrontation with those who disagree with our values and to act lawfully at these events. Weapons of any kind, including those legally permitted, should not be brought to the events. Good on you.
Okay.
I'm
down.
That is amazing.
Down.
Right?
Yeah.
One of our country's big deals is to be able to legally, peacefully protest. Fantastic. You guys are doing it right. Thanks for organizing. Thanks for doing it the way that is respectful in my book, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Let your words say what they need to say. Do it right. Now, this whole deal is to get, they think the president and they think Elon, like they're acting like they own the country, right? That it's theirs to play with. They're pissing off all of our allies. They're doing all these tariffs. They're fucking with everything else, crashing our stock market and whatnot. Here's my opinion. Agree with me if you will. Don't agree. I don't care. Anyway, my opinion states this. We wanted somebody to turn the system on the fucking head. We've all wanted the system redone. We've all wanted something to happen drastically in one way or another because we've all got sick and tired of the way it's been.
President Trump's platform in his first presidency was doing just that.
Right.
Air quotes.
Air quotes.
Draining the swamp.
Right.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Right. Now, the man had 4 years off, which is 4 years to plan, and now he's got 4 years with nothing to lose to do it. He can't get reelected. He knows that.
Correct.
What do you think he's going to do? He's going to come in and be all nice to everybody? No, he's going to burn the forest down. Fuck y'all. But we wanted it. All of us, not all of us, a lot of people in this country wanted shit to change. Unfortunately, you can't have things change and still be nice.
Change is very rarely smooth and comforting.
It's almost never.
Right.
Almost never. You want things to change drastically. It takes drastic action and it takes drastic responses or commitments or coincidences or not coincidence as what's the other word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. I'll think of it. But it takes all these drastic things to make drastic things happen.
Yes.
Right. So do I agree with every bit of it? No, I don't. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Obviously, people wanted, and I'm going to say majority, again, air quotes, because the electoral system is a little goofy with presidential elections.
Right.
But let's say it's majority vote. The majority of people wanted what Trump was going to offer, President Trump, okay? Yep. Again, I'm not political one way or the other, folks. I really am bipartisan here, I swear to God. Then that means that what he's doing was what the majority of the people voted for. You got nobody to blame but yourself.
Yep.
If you disagree now with what's happening, and it seems like more than half of the people disagree with what's happening now. There have been, as you said, protests. I mean, come on. We talked about it briefly a few episodes ago about the 51st state, all the tariffs and shit, right? Like we're not trying to beat a dead horse. If your citizenry is actively protesting against the decisions that you're making, and it seems to be people who were in your party on your side, not the other party, right? Mm-hmm. That you understand that the other party is always going to argue with what you do. That's just human nature, right? But your own people standing up going, can I ask a question or two? My problem with the whole thing is when people on their own side, people who are supposed to be allies and partners in the same political party, who are standing up asking that question like, hey, can I just ask a question real quick? And having them go, nope, we're just doing what we're doing.
Yep.
There to service the people or there to service yourself?
Right.
Right. And if this is the conversation, folks, that gets me deported because I'm not a citizen of this country yet, and apparently that's what they do to people now, well, you can listen back to this and go, oh, wow, that's the moment Jason got thrown out of the United States.
Well, and there's the deal. One, let's be very clear. You're here legally. You're fine.
And this is satire, folks. We're trying to entertain.
But at the same time, like, what do you think was going to happen? He has nothing to lose, and he's a fucking billionaire. He has nothing to lose, literally.
Right.
Like, and who does he hire to help him take the richest man in the world?
Who's probably a space alien.
In some way, yeah. Right.
Again, I agree, and we talked about Doge last time. I agree with a little efficiency within the government.
Right.
But maybe pick a panel of people to make this not an individual.
Right. And it's so weird because they're all like, oh, we're pissing off all of our allies. All of our allies were pissed to begin with.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention, folks, you're out there spray painting and scratching swastikas onto Teslas and burning. Hey, owning a Tesla was the fucking flag of the left before.
Yeah.
That was proof positive. You were a fucking ally of the How did that switch so quick? No. Mm-hmm. You folks are just swinging with the breeze. Whatever way the wind flows, you're just get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you fucking sheeple.
That's you sheep. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself. You sheeple. Get the hell out of here. Come on now. That person bought a Tesla because they wanted an electric car, or they wanted to, in their own opinion, commit less emissions into they're doing what they thought was best, and a year ago that's what you thought was best, and now you just switched because he happens to own the company. Come on now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good thing to bring up. So, have you heard about the sea lions attacking off of California's coast?
Oh, what? Sea lions?
It's going to get way better than you think it is, buddy.
Okay.
All right. There have been multiple recorded attacks over the last 6 months of sea lions attacking people off the coast. Now, it's along about a 70-mile section of the Southern California coastline. Specifically, very recently, March 30th, so at the time of this recording, that was about a week and a half ago, a poor young gal named Phoebe Beltran, she was a 15-year-old girl in Long Beach, got attacked. A sea lion bit up her right arm pretty good. Caused terrible pain, multiple bites. She's going to be fine. She doesn't lose the arm or anything. She'll have full use of everything, but it was a traumatic experience for this poor girl. In her words, the sea lion erupted from the water, hurtling towards her, which I got to say, that's really impressive vocabulary from a 15-year-old person. That's excellent. I know. Okay. That in my head, when I first heard it, I'm like, that's pretty impressive. I wonder if her mother or father told her to say that. Called it a harrowing and traumatic experience. Here's the deal. They are trying to say that the sea lions, and apparently dolphins are being included in this. There's been less attacks, but a few. They are actively reacting to toxins and limited food supplies in the water, attributing that to the humans through their intelligence, quote unquote, and are now fighting back and attacking people. I don't agree with you can't disagree. The human population is putting toxins and terrible things into the water and the ground and the air and all this. Yes, that's true. But if you're trying to tell me that, I know they say dolphins are crazy smart and whales, you know what I mean? You're trying to tell me that they're actively connecting this to people and now attacking them when they're swimming or taking laps. I mean, it seems like a real environmentalist ecological reach to suggest that this is because of pollution and toxins in the water and limited food supplies. I mean, I hate that those things are happening, but really? You're trying to say that the two things are directly or was that lady splashing around, that poor girl splashing around, and the sea lion was in a bad mood or hungry or took it as an aggressive? Come on. I mean, like, what are we doing here?
Dude, it's really how oh, come on. Okay. No. Just fucking no. Yeah. Sea lions are not intelligent enough to put two and two together.
I don't believe that they are. I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist or anything. I don't know for sure, right? But it seems to me like they're not. They show a related article here that hundreds of dolphins and sea lions have washed up over the past year in California amidst toxic algae outbreak. And they're trying to say that when they're affected with this toxin, it affects their minds. They get scared, disoriented, and frightened, and their reaction is to attack,
lash out
the cause. I don't think they understand the cause. This seems like a real reach to people trying to blame this on people.
Yeah, I mean,
it's terrible. Sure, I totally admit to that.
Right.
But you're telling me dolphins apparently are crazy smart, so maybe a dolphin. But the majority of the things I looked up when I was researching this, also this is from CNN.com, folks. Not even CNN, CNNclimate.com.
Right.
I should point that out.
Right.
It seems crazy to me, man.
Yeah, I mean, so sea lions have some cognitive ability, right? They have some problem-solving skill ability. You can teach them things, right? They can learn, but they don't. Okay, so my dog, right? My dog, I can look at him and go, Remy, you're such a cute little boy. I'm going to kill you. And he'll wag his tail and he won't know the difference.
I've said it before, man. Yeah. It's the tone of voice.
I'm pretty sure sea lions are probably the same way. They don't get it.
Now, learning things short. When I was growing up, we had plenty of seals around the coast when we were out on boats on the ocean and stuff. You'd see a seal pop its head up very regularly, right? Mm-hmm. And when I worked on the whale watching tour with my cousin Kinnan before I moved to the States, an old timer told us, hey, like if you want to point out a seal to your people that are out there as tourists, don't point at the seal. Tell the people, hey, it's off to your right or look in that direction, because the seals did understand that if you pointed at them, they took it as remembering a gun when they used to kill seals. I don't know if it was true, but it kind of made sense in my head that they'd put two and two together like, oh, that's the thing that hurt the other seal. I think they can learn things, but being able to connect, oh, my water is poison and it's definitely the people up.
It's because of them.
That's a pretty big jump.
That's the cognitive ability I'm talking about. You can learn stuff, sure, but come on.
I don't think they can make those connections. I think it's a real reach for people who are desperately trying, and in a good way, to clean up the oceans and not pollute them more. But come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need to do. Like, we definitely do need to stop doing that, but it's also just like the climate control teenager, end of the world is happening, and she's, 15 and knows everything. And so definitely isn't paid to fly around and cry in front of screens.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about Greta, right?
Yep.
Yeah. When in any other generation or even respectfully part of the world right now, if I were that age and were to come with a incredibly heated opinion on a big social event to other adults around me, now they prop people up as a voice for social change. When in my youth, someone would look at me and went, nobody cares what you think. You're 17. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Live some life a little bit.
I appreciate her bravery to be able to stand up in front of all these but you don't know anything yet. You have no experience yet.
Hey, Jason, pay me enough money and I'll find bravery anywhere for something.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. All right. What do you got?
All right. I was just, wow, you really got me on attention. I actually started looking up the IQ level of sea lions, and Vanderbilt University actually mapped the sea lions' brains, by the way. Anyway, moving along.
Well, hold on. They mapped the sea lion's brain. Did they find a comparative level of intelligence?
They found out that they have a cognitive level to be able to say sea lions have enough human logic or tests that prove that the sea lion is the first animal besides humans that can use basic logic as A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C.
Where was that from?
It was
Stanford, did you say?
Vanderbilt University.
Okay, so Vanderbilt. Also, right. First of all, that's not true, because all mockingbird and crow and have proved that before because they have problem-solving abilities. So do whales and dolphins and dogs.
Right.
So Vanderbilt is just another waste money. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy. Let's move on.
Yeah, moving on. Anyway, I think I just popped open the wrong tab here. Oh,
all right.
And yes, here we go. In Nevada, let's go to Nevada, shall we?
Okay, I'm in.
7 tigers from a Pahrump property. The owner of the big cats claimed they were his emotional support animals. Tiger.
7 tigers.
7 tigers.
Why was this brought to light? Did they get out?
No, Nye County Sheriff's Office worked with Code Enforcement and Animal Services to execute a search warrant at the Pahrump home of Carl Mitchell, owner of Big Cats Entertainment. Okay.
That's not a good start.
Right. So the deal is that he was in violation because they found out he had so many tigers and he didn't have permits for said tigers. So he said, hey, I don't have to have permits for all those. Some of those are my emotional support animals to this gentleman's defense, and the only defense I can have for you, sir, I'm sorry. And with all due respect, he is 100% disabled veteran with PTSD. That part I don't doubt. Okay.
That could cause some interesting mental pathways. Sure.
Right. I
respect that.
He said that 6 of his tigers were actually rescued from Joe Exotic, if you remember.
Shocker.
Tiger King.
Tiger
right?
King. Everybody does watch Tiger King. Get your
Right.
head together. Yeah, watch Tiger King.
So 6 of those were rescued from them, but he didn't have permits. He wasn't doing it legally. And then he said they were his emotional. Look, if you're going to have a tiger as an emotional support animal, you know those things eat people. Just throwing it out there.
They can.
Right? If they deem necessary, you become lunch.
Yes, that's the way it goes. So I got some information about that too, all right? So supportpets.com. For $99, you can have your dog or your cat or both or multiple registered as a support animal. Apparently, it's very, very, very easy. Also, for I believe it was a satirical proving of a point. I'm trying to find it right now, and I don't see it really regularly here, but maybe I can come up with it. I don't remember the comedian, but a comedian got a emu registered as an emotional support animal.
Really?
Listen, it's goddamn horseshit. You just want to bring your dog or cat on the plane with you, and you don't want to leave them home, and that's okay. I get it. You don't want to leave your pet at home. I got a brand new puppy. I've talked about it early and often.
Right.
I joked around about getting my dog. Now, I wouldn't do the emotional support animal bullshit, but maybe get my dog registered as a support animal with the vest where I could take him everywhere. I could lean around the rules a bit there, maybe. I'm not gonna, but if I was gonna, that's where I'd go.
Right. I don't know. I think the emotional support side, it's gotten a little too far out of hand.
Oh, listen, it certainly is. Obviously, it's not going to be any surprise that this is Australia. A employee, a Wisconsin woman, was asked to leave a McDonald's in Beaver Dam when she entered the restaurant with Jimmy, her emotional support kangaroo.
In Wisconsin?
A lady from Wisconsin who was in Australia.
Oh, okay.
I got another great one here from the Waco Tribune. Megan Curran, a teenager, she had an emotional support for her anxiety relief, which, good on you. A bearded dragon, the cute little lizards with all the points. Lots of people, and I mean lots of people, it was a almost board-to-board tie, have pigs and turkeys registered as emotional support animals. The turkeys specifically because apparently for some people, this EMSR or ERSM, what's the verbal calming thing? Is it ESMR?
ASMR. Yeah.
Apparently the vocalizations are calming to people from turkeys. Okay. Lots of people have monkeys. That's been a thing for years, right?
Right.
The ones that concern me is when people get really out of the way, like a duck, a chicken. All right, people think they're super cute. They're not super messy. Okay, an emotional support duck or chicken, that's great. Miniature horses, kind of cumbersome to take anywhere. I also sort of get it. The craziest ones I found that people called cuddly and affectionate, and emotional support peacock. There are 77 registered in the United States right now.
Peacock.
Emotional support peacocks. You know exactly what I'm talking about, folks.
If you're really, have you personally, Jason, ever heard a peacock?
No. I've seen them, but I never heard the noise they make.
I have. It's fucking annoying.
I'm sure it is, right?
You kind of want to reach out and strangle them.
See, I'm going to get back to that point in a sec, all right? Let me say one more quick here that was on the list. It fell in at number 6. At a rate currently of 141 registered in the United States, snakes.
No.
I'm telling you.
No,
it's right,
fuck all
dude,
the way off.
Dude, it's right here from bestlife.com. That's a confirmed number of people who have registered their snake as an emotional support animal. Now, here's my problem with it, okay? You brought this up, but it's a thing I'm really passionate about. I get it. You want to take your pet on the plane, and there are many people who need this, they believe, as an emotional support when they're traveling, whatever, right?
Right.
I'm not allergic to any animals that I know of, but there's lots of people who are allergic to dogs and cats and shit, right?
Oh, for sure.
If I was to pay, let's say $1,000 for my flight to wherever, and the fucking dickhead next to me has an emotional support dog and I'm fucking allergic, I would be pissed the fuck off.
Right.
And here's the problem. Let's say, theoretically, you walk onto a plane and we're flying from here in Minneapolis. Let's say we're going to Florida. Okay. 4-hour flight, give or take. You have your emotional support dog and I'm allergic. If I kick up a stink, who do you think the fucking marshal's taking off the plane and putting on the no-fly list?
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. It'll be you.
It'll be me, right?
Yep.
When it's a reasonable complaint.
Yep.
That's my problem with it.
Oh, and I'm right there with you. For the love of God, my kids can't take anything that has peanuts in it to school because somebody might breathe peanut.
I don't want to kill a kid because of peanuts. Like, it's a complaint. It's an annoyance, right?
Right.
But if there's a kid at the school that peanuts could kill him, all right, I don't send my child to school with peanut shit. I can get behind that for a child's life. But you don't need to bring your dog on the plane and make me...
Look, when it comes to the peanut stuff, do yourself a favor. All of you parents, when your baby is a baby, they're not allergic to peanuts. Give them some fucking peanut butter. They won't be allergic to peanuts. For the love of God.
I don't know the science behind it. I'm not going to...
That's an old wives' tale.
Right. I'm not going to steel man this position, all right? Anyway. I don't know the science behind it. I feel bad for anyone who has an anaphylactic allergy.
Oh, so do I.
And again, if the difference is for me not bringing peanuts on a plane or not bringing them to my workplace, or I don't have kids, but if I had kids, not sending peanut butter and whatever to school, I'm behind that. It sucks that that poor kid has that. I'm behind that. But the animal thing?
Some people have that same allergic reaction to animals.
Is there anybody anaphylactically allergic to animals?
If you can breathe peanuts and it'll kill you, you can definitely breathe dog and rabbit.
And it could kill you.
Yeah.
All right. You look that up while I bring my next one up here. That could be true. I don't know that animals are anaphylactically allergic, but look that up while I bring up my next one here. Okay. My point being, I just want to say, also, I agree with what you said. Give your kids peanuts when they're young or whatever the nut they're allergic to. But also, if the subtle inconvenience in my life is to not bring peanuts somewhere because a kid might be injured, or an adult for that matter, I'm willing to do that. But the animal thing, get the fuck out of here with your animal. I know you don't want to put your animal down in cargo because that's terrifying for an animal.
Right. Cold
and noisy and in a cage with a bunch. No, don't do that.
Right.
Because you don't want to leave them behind. You know what then? You get to drive now.
Right.
Okay.
Right, drive.
Sorry, I'm moving on.
Yes, it is possible to have a severe life-threatening allergic reaction called anaphylaxis to dogs.
Okay, there you go. I didn't know.
Even though it's uncommon, it is possible.
Oh my God, folks, isn't it great? We got every bit of information ever right at our fingertips with the internet. Holy fuck, it's amazing. All right, so I want to get onto something fun but sad here at the same time, okay?
Okay.
I know this doesn't mean a lot to everybody, but it means something to me. Poor Val Kilmer has died.
Rip a legend.
Yeah, rip a legend, right? So it was for everybody looking back now when he was in the most recent remake or sequel, whatever you want to call it, for Top Gun, the Maverick movie.
At least he was able to make it.
He was able to make it, and the not being able to talk wasn't a part of the script. He's had throat cancer. He's been battling it. Dead at 65. Listen, if you haven't seen Tombstone, get your head out of your ass. It's one of the greatest cowboy movies ever. He's the best Doc Holliday. It's fantastic,
right? Fantastic,
right? He was great in both Top Gun movies. He's been in so many great movies. He was unfortunately the absolute worst Batman.
Yes.
We can all agree on that. That was, God love him. I hate to speak
good
ill of the
try.
dead. He was the good try. He was the worst Batman. But so many other bangers. What a shame. Lose somebody early. I just want to bring that one up. That's it's a loss. I know we don't know these people, but you know, when an actor or an actress that we've seen for so many years is all of a sudden gone, we didn't know the person, a lot of us, but it's a loss.
Right.
You know, when Sean Connery died, I was legitimately sad when Sean Connery. I never met that man.
No.
But he was in so much stuff that I remember, so it was shout out R.I.P. Val Kilmer. That's a huge loss.
Yep.
Also, again, not to speak ill of the dead, terrible Batman. His portrayal of Jim Morrison was not fucking great.
No.
But they can't all be bangers. What do I know? I've never been an actor, so
Right. You win some, you lose.
You win some, you lose some.
Overall, he had a great career. He made some fantastic, iconic movies.
Right.
Now they're not iconic to the generation below us. They'll never really understand. But to us and our generation, he was one of the icons of the film industry.
That was a banger. Even when he died, my spouse, I mean, she remembers he was the heartthrob from a couple of generations.
Oh, he was a stud,
couple
man.
of generations.
Yeah.
He was a stud from a couple of generations.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. The heartthrobs. That guy was a stud for ladies and gentlemen who like that sort of thing from a couple generations.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
shout out. Shame about Val Kilmer. That's a big loss. And got to say, over his career, well, Val Kilmer was hooked up with a bunch of hotties.
Yeah.
If you need to know nothing else, look up that guy's body count with
Yep.
famous people. He was doing all right.
And that's because he was just a stud. Like,
Yeah, he was getting.
he was a
after it.
fucking specimen, man.
Yeah. What do you got next, buddy?
5 runaway horses through London, placing a path of mayhem and injuries.
You always got the animal ones.
animals.
5 horses?
5 military horses.
Oh, 5 military horses.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this.
So there was a number of horses that ran loose. What happened was the British Army was doing some exercises with them, and they passed by a construction site, and people on the construction site dropped some concrete on the ground, spooked the horses. 5 of them took off, dumping 3 riders, and just barreling through downtown central London.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it caused a bunch of just traffic problems. And if you've ever been down, I've been to London not too long ago, and I could just imagine 5 horses running down the street in that would just cause chaos. Straight fucking chaos.
I found this already from military.com, buddy. Witnesses saw the loose animals crashing into taxis waiting outside of the Claremont Hotel, shattering windows. Another animal crashed into a tour bus, smashing the windshield.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Roughly 2 hours, the horses wove a destructive path across some 6 miles of the city in 2 hours. They're cruising, dude.
They were moving, that's for sure. It unfortunately looks like at least 1 or 2 of them were injured.
Well, they don't know if the one that looked like it was covered in blood, if it was actually blood. It looked like it was some form of red liquid. It could have been a litany of things.
Yes, that's true here. Oh, that's good. The London ambulance service says it treated 4 people across 3 separate incidences.
Yeah.
Getting run over by a horse.
Yeah.
In this day and age, listen, if you go into the hospital this day and age, and you're not in a rural community, you're in London, big city, right? You walk in, and the doctor goes, "Oh, car accident? No, man. Horse ran me over."
Got run over by a horse.
You got to admit, they're going to look at you going, "Okay, give this guy a drug test real quick, and then we're going to get some x-rays." Like,
Yeah. Explain that to the insurance
what
company.
what were you doing last night, sir? Were you out partying? Like,
There was like 5 of them. Oh my God.
you got to admit, some of these things that actually happen, this is a proof positive thing. There's video and photo evidence of this, folks. You can look it up. I'm actually checking it out on military.com here right now, which has some pretty good photos, actually.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're running down the street just wide open like a John Wick movie chasing a motorcycle.
Yep.
It would happen so rarely now that you got to think that with medical professionals and all the people who are either medicated or on drugs or having a rough day or mentally unstable who come in with injuries telling them stories, you have to think the 4 people or 5 people that got injured with this, you got to assume the doctors are looking at them and going, "Yeah, right. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because,
Fentanyl? Did you try fentanyl today? You don't need to spell it. Like."
Right. Well, and you got to imagine, like, the doctors don't know that this thing went on.
Right.
Right. And because news doesn't travel that fast. So by the time they got to the hospital, they're just like, yeah. And how many did you say there were? Like, making sure they re-ask that question. Are you sure it was 6? Was it 5? Was it 8?
Right.
Was there a whole goddamn regiment coming after you?
Yeah, horses from the Household Cavalry, which conducted extended exercise in the area for an upcoming military parade.
Yep.
As you said, alarmed by the sound of concrete falling from a moving walkway that they were doing in a swanky area just west of the Buckingham Palace. So,
Yep.
And it does specifically say the horses minus their riders.
Yeah.
Obviously. I like that one. That's good, man. So I've got a Canadian one here to throw out to you, man.
All right.
If I can find it with the litany of tabs I have up here. So I know you're not a huge sports guy, but this will mean a lot to a bunch of people. So very recently, a famous NHL hockey player, Alexander Ovechkin, he's played for the Washington Capitals, breaks Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goal-scoring record with goal number 895. The NHL and the internet lose their minds. Oh my God. If you're not familiar, they call Wayne Gretzky the Great One.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I knew that.
Yeah. Because he was one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Here's the problem. They're making a fuss because this Alexander Ovechkin passed his all-time goal-scoring record. Wayne Gretzky owns or shares 61 NHL records.
Oh,
and
wow.
they're trying to compare him. I've spoke to a few Canadians I know and even a few Americans who are really interested and educated on the history of hockey. Okay. Good for you, kid. You're real close to the end of your career. He is gray-bearded and gray-haired. Ovechkin is an amazing player, but he's on the cusp of fucking calling it quits. He's going to hang him up here real shortly. And you passed one
of
marker
60
of 61 records that he holds or shares. Yeah. Actually, I guess it would be 60 now because he's now lost the goal-scoring one.
Right.
So let's call it 60, right? No. Yeah. No. And
don't compare yourself to that.
And so many Americans, with respect to my American brethren and sister, talking all crazy and all, "Oh, yeah, I passed Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, fuck that." Okay, first of all, he's Russian. He plays for an American team that he's Russian. He's not an American. He plays for the Capitals. You're just all up in arms because he plays for an American team. Fuck all the way off.
Right.
Okay? But
Fair.
Also, there's lots of stats that they keep up in sports. You know that. We've talked before. We had an episode. You're not a big sports guy, right?
Right.
But for people who do listen, this is important. Yes, 1 out of 60 that he owns or shares now, okay? That's all well and good, buddy. assists, which is setting the next person up for the goal, which they track in the NHL, right?
Yep.
He's 1,200 and something behind him in that, which is the next
so he's a puck hog.
Which is in my opinion the next biggest number: goals, assists, and then hockey fans can debate what matters after that.
Right.
I would give my opinion, but I don't want our social media to really blow up. Okay, you're a puck hog. Great. You spent your career scoring goals. Good on you, buddy.
Yeah.
But don't compare yourself to somebody because you passed one of a litany of milestones.
Right.
Proud of you. Good for you. You've been a great goal scorer. You've been with the same team for most of your career, but you're never probably passing any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead with, I bring this up because, yes, it was a big thing in the news and everybody was talking about it in sports. No, that's not impressive to me.
Wow.
So, what else you got, my man?
Wow. Well, keeping on the side of the athletic side of the world.
Nice.
An American man breaks the Guinness World Record for doing pull-ups in 24 hours. Guess how many he did?
Okay, I'm going to look it up in a sec, but I won't do it before I answer.
Pull-ups.
Pull-ups.
In 24 hours.
Pull-ups in 24 hours.
Throw a number up.
I believe I heard about someone who broke the previous record a couple years ago. I'm going to say that this person broke 8,000.
No. 10,001.
Was the old record 10,000?
Nope, that's his new one.
That's his. Oh, so it's the same person.
So he, it's the same guy. So he reclaimed the Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours after previously holding the record for less than 1 day. Okay. Truett Haynes is his name. Fucking stud, because I can't even do 10. Previously attempted the record about 2 years later and successfully beat it with 8,100 pull-ups in the allotted time period, but his number was beaten less than a day later by an Australian man, Gary Lloyd, who did 8,600 additional pull-ups in 24 hours.
Sorry, say that again. He 8,600 extra?
Additional pull-ups in 24 hours. Yep.
Whoa.
Right. So the deal is, so he did, I don't know, the writing there really confuses me, but Haynes now has recaptured the title with 10,001 pull-ups in 24 hours.
All right, so I'm looking up photos here right now. Listen, this Truett Haynes guy, he looks fit, but he doesn't look like jacked.
No, he's not jacked. That's the thing.
10,001 in a day.
In 24 hours. How crazy is that?
I agree with what you're saying. So, as I've said before, recent episodes, I've been getting after a little, trying to lose a hair, a bit of weight, and not be a fucking fat piece of shit in my 50s. Not that I'm there yet. My mission before the end of the year is to do 10.
Yeah.
Not 10,000.
Right.
I want to be able to do 10 bodyweight pull-ups.
Right. It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
Listen, it reminds me every year. So everybody who's not local, we've talked about before, the Minnesota State Fair, and a lot of state fairs are a big thing or whatever, and they have very often military groups there trying to recruit and bring in the Marines at the state fair. They got a small camper van trailer. They got a couple of Marines there, and they have a pull-up bar, and that's their whole deal, is doing pull-ups. And every time I walk by watching somebody do 5 or 6 or 10 or 20, I'm like, God damn. Like,
right.
It always makes me feel terrible. So 10,001.
It's freaking insane.
Yeah. So Gary Lloyd beat his margin by 500 the day later. That's got to be annoying. Imagine that takes some training.
Yep.
You're getting fit. You go through all this, you break the world record, Guinness hands you your trophy or whatever, and then somebody calls you at dinner time tomorrow night and goes, oh, yeah, so you know your thing? Yeah, somebody beat that today.
Yeah, already.
God.
You didn't even carry it for,
damn it,
48 hours. I mean, come on,
man.
It just burst the fucking bubble.
That would be annoying as shit. Well, dude, I don't have anything else today. How about you?
No, I really don't. I mean, I'm going to bring up this one because I don't know what your stance is on this. U.S. surveillance balloon breaks free near Texas border and travels to Dallas area before crashing.
U.S. surveillance balloon breaks free. Breaks free from where? Is there any more information you can give me?
Let's see here. Broke free and traveled about 600 miles to the north before crashing. High winds swept through the state. So I'm going to assume it was, U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Got it.
For surveillance along Texas border.
Got it. All right, listen. Here's my opinion. They are going to use, and when I say they, I mean Border Protection Services. They're going to use whatever means they can in an attempt to surveil and curtail and affect the traffic that is officially and illegally, in their opinion, not mine, coming across the border.
Right.
It's 2025, right?
Uh-huh.
The fuck are you using balloons for? Is this a weather experiment?
There it is. Exactly.
You're using balloons.
Right.
I can get a $200 drone that I can run off my cell phone from Amazon that can go up to a mile from me. You can't balloons. All right.
Yep. So they say that they're using the tethered aerostat radar system, is what they're calling it.
Fuck that thing. Okay,
to
go ahead.
detect low altitude aircraft. Fix your fucking radar, the U.S.
All right. Low altitude aircraft.
Right.
I can see planes flying over my house at what I'm going to guesstimate, because my home, folks, is at the very, very beginning of the local airport glide path, depending on how the wind is coming in.
Yep.
Not so much that the noise affects us, but we see them. We don't hear the noise. We see. Yeah. I can see pretty good up into the air. What do you mean by low level?
So, I mean, it's kind of common knowledge, I suppose, maybe. So when airplanes fly under a certain level,
radar cannot detect them because they're below the radar plane. I do understand that.
Because it gets confused between them and the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So that's what that thing's detecting, is it's separating.
Sitting. Yeah. But you can fucking see them then, right?
You would think so.
With a set of spy glasses or just your eyes. Yeah. Maybe we hire border protection agents that can see 500 feet in the air.
Yeah, at low level, at that low level, dude, you should be able to read the numbers on the plane.
Look,
from the ground.
Swinging back to the Val Kilmer thing, according to the new Top Gun Maverick movie, you have to be below 500 feet. I can hit that with a gun. Right. I can see that.
Right.
You need surveillance. Right. Oh, my God.
All right. And now bring up the other aspect. Okay.
I'd bang my head on the mic if it made a noise, folks. I really would. The money they're wasting.
And that's the other aspect of this. All right. So you're going to have this thing tethered, right? You should start talking to your fucking engineers as if a 75 mile an hour wind gust is what took it down. Caused it to break free.
Yeah.
Wind gusts over 75 miles an hour is what took it down.
In the grand scheme of things, buddy, here's the issue with that. And you make a really, really, really good point. All the money they had already spent to test and engineer said balloons for wind shear and whatever, they had already tried to test it for that and paid people and did studies and reports and committees, and a high wind still struck that thing out of the ground.
They never saw the wind charts, previous history. I mean, come on. We have wind charts for our light poles that we bolt to concrete bases.
Right. Now,
by the way, it's 110 mile an hour shear rating.
Right. Right. See, John even knows, right? For a light pole, the government spent all the time and effort to go through all this for what I think is an antiquated surveillance system for low-level aircraft, and it still didn't work. And people are up in arms, as we started out early in this episode talking about. You might be upset about people losing their jobs from the Department of Government Efficiency, but you got to admit, hearing things like that, there is wasted money around.
Yeah.
I think we ended there, my man.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening again this week. This is another get after the news, talk some shit episode. We appreciate listening to the very end here. You know the deal. Check out the socials. If you want to buy us a beer, it's on the website. If you want to reach out to us, 507-607-ISAW. That's 4729. Check out the website. Send us any message you want. If you have any ideas for upcoming episodes, things you'd like to hear us talk about or revisit, John and I are open to all those things. And again, this is also the season of guests. Check out the website. The Be a Guest tab is right there. It's very easy to fill out. Please get on there, check us out if you want to be a guest on the show. Don't worry if you don't think you'll be a fun guest. John and I will make that determination. We can have a great conversation with just about anybody. John, what am I forgetting, sir?
Thank you for listening all the way to the end of the episode, Jason. I really appreciate it. It actually helps.
It does make a difference.
Helps out the algorithm hugely. If you would, take a second. I know everybody's busy, and but we really would love a rate, review, and subscribe on the platforms that you're on.
Tell a friend, for fuck's sake.
Tell a friend. Let us know how we're doing. We don't get enough kind of, I don't know what it's called, a job review.
Feedback.
We want to actually know how we're doing. So even bad reviews or good reviews, it doesn't matter. Other than that, man, I want to let everybody else know while you're out there, as always, making it happen this week. Whatever job you're in, whatever trade you're in, whatever skill craft you're in, whatever profession you're in, even if you're the waitress at the bar, trying to keep guys under control while they're drinking. Be safe. Your work keeps the world working, and God bless you.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.